Hello everybody, it is Brony time, and welcome back to Ace Attorney Investigations Collection. Yeah, we are back. Now of course, from now on, this will be sharing slot with, the Ace, Apollo Justice series. You'll get you'll get a video of this, a video of investigations. Not every day, but we'll see how it goes. Once again, I just got back to recording. I don't necessarily know exactly how I'm going to do this, but this weekend I'm just kind of sort of recording sessions as I can. I'm going to try to get you guys at least 4 videos of Apollo Justice, 4 videos of Ace Attorney Investigations every week. That is my plan for now. But it's time to move on, and I believe we last left off we were about to begin our investigation of the crime scene. So, let's continue in Ace Attorney Investigations collection. Hello? In order to preserve the crime scene, I'm afraid the elevator is not in service. To get to the first floor lounge, we should take the stairs. Oh wow, we can run. Okay, here we go. Now we're on the... See, this is a completely different game where, like, you're just walking around in between scene and scene. I want to thank you for your help back there, Miss Tenero. It was nothing. You should thank the captain for granting you permission. And just so everything is perfectly clear, I still don't trust you. Your standing with me hasn't changed one iota. I see. I will bear that in mind. I received an order from the captain earlier. Wanted you to know that. We reserve the right to stop your investigation if we feel you are not making progress. And when we do, he asks that you please return to your seat at that time. So when time runs out at his and his crew's discretion, does it? I have to find a way to discredit Mr. Blanc's testimony before time's up. I understand. By the way, is there any place you can think of where the killer might hide on board? I don't think so. After every first-class passenger was accounted for at his or her seat, we made a thorough search of the plane. As for the business and economy class, no one can move between those two classes and first class without a staff key card. And we found no record of a key card being used at all. Which means that I have a first-class killer on my hands. At least I know that much for sure. And one other thing. No one else has been allowed near this crime scene since the murder was discovered either. Now then, let's get started. Where should we start from? Let's start with Mr. LeBlanc's statements. The crime occurred between 6 a.m. and 6:15 a.m. During the interval, the only person in the lounge was myself, which would make me the prime suspect. However, since I did not kill Mr. Hicks, it means that the killer was around somewhere. If we are to believe what you say is true, then yes. The first order of business will be to gather information to win your trust. What floors does this elevator service? Only the first and second, although it can also go down to the cargo hold. However, that requires a flight crew keycard. So the only floors accessible to the passengers are the first and second, huh? I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. Money is strewn all over the floor of the elevator. I would guess it was all in Mr. Hicks' wallet at some point. What is this? Sinister looking? Sinister looking floor here. Looking on the floor here. Oh, that's a piggy bank of our company mascot, Captain Uga. It's just one of the many pieces of merchandise we sell at our in-flight shop. This bank is limited edition and is so popular that we're down to our last one. You have an in-flight shop? Yes, just beyond the lounge to the right. The shutter to the store is closed at the moment, but it was open the whole flight up until Mr. Hicks' body was discovered. There's blood on here. Could this have been the murder weapon? There's something sticking out of his pocket. Hope you won't mind if I take a look at what's inside. It's a picture. It looks like it was taken inside a building somewhere. What do I have? Something's missing from this picture. Just put my finger on it. Is this spot somehow connected to any of the evidence I hold?
Eureka!
Mr. Hicks' machine is nowhere to be found. His machine? His cell phone, Miss Tenebro. Ah, so I guess because it's not here. Yes, I think we can safely deduce that the killer took it. There's some spilled grape juice in front of the elevator. I assume it was spilled during the turbulence. Oh, we must clean that up or someone might get hurt. Aha! What is it, Mr. Edgeworth? I found some very important evidence. What is the important piece of evidence in this scene? The footprints, obviously.
Take that!
What is it? They're a little smudged, but I think we could both agree they are a set of footprints. So, you think? Yes, those belong to our killer. Oh, then maybe we should check the shoe sizes of everyone in first class. I don't think that will be of any help to us. Unfortunately, the prints are too smudged, which will make it hard to get a definitive match. Oh, I see. Time for logic. True, there wasn't anyone else in the lounge other than myself right before the turbulence. But if the killer was in the elevator along with the victim, then that's a different story. Can't see a clear connection between these two pieces of information. Hold on, let me re-examine the elevator. I doubt anyone would suspect to find a dead body in an elevator on this flight. So, Mr. Hicks, he's really dead. Yes, she's trembling, although I can't fault her for that when there's a corpse right there. Mr. Hicks, if you're really dead, then please answer yes. I see she's over the trembling now, although no symptom seems to have appeared. Anyway, I should focus on the victim's body. Let's see. There's blood on the back of Mr. Hicks' head. Could this be the cause of death? He appears to have been struck very hard. Even his glasses are broken. That's what I was missing. Blunt force trauma and this. A statue with blood on it lying next to the body of a man who was beaten to death. Oh, Mr. Edgeworth, I think I figured something out. Yes, what is it? The way the blood is on this, it's looked like it matches up with the wound on his head. Well, aren't we deserving of the Master of the Obvious title? Well, what do you think, Mr. Edgeworth? Don't you think that's worth investigating? It would appear that this figurine is our murder weapon. Oh, I just knew it. I mean, I can't think of any other connection. Perhaps Master of the Oblivious would be more befitting. I have it! I'm sorry, but I don't understand, Mr. Edgeworth. I can prove that someone other than myself was here around the time of the murder. What? Really? Yes, it's rather simple, actually. The proof is in the pudding, or rather the grape juice in this case. These footsteps here confess to me this very fact, that someone exited the elevator alive. Seeing as how the victim is dead, that would mean a second person. But could the footprints be from Mr. Hicks himself? Ah, but if you look at our victim's shoes, you can see the soles are spotless. Which means Mr. Hicks wasn't alone in the elevator. In fact, it's quite the opposite. There was actually one other person inside the elevator. What's going on over there?
Unforgivable! This is unforgivable! Do you understand what I am saying? The movie is late! It is the same level of bad as if the plane arrived late!
But the movie...
What? I will not talk to you anymore! You are just wasting my time!
What is the matter, Mr. LeBlanc? If there is no emergency, please return to your seat, sir.
Do not tell me what to do. I need not to sit down. Well, Mr. Prosecutor, did you prove your innocence yet?
If you would like, I will prove my innocence to you right now.
What nonsense! Are you saying my eyewitness testimony is mistaken?
Not mistaken, merely that there is room for doubt. I'd be most honored if you could please tell me what you saw in detail once more.
Fine, suit yourself. I am certain I saw Mr. Hicks enter that elevator. It was when the needles on my pocket watch pointed to 6 and the 12. Body was discovered 15 minutes after in the lounge, yes? Then you, the only person in the lounge at the time, must be the criminal.
Mr. LeBlanc's conclusions seem to make logical sense. After all, the only person in the lounge at the time of the murder was me.
So my witness testimony. If you think you can destroy it, then come, let me see. Hurry, do I look like a man who's having the time to wait for you? Why is he so irritated? I'm the one accused of murder here. Anyway, I must find a way to discredit Mr. LeBlanc's account somehow and fast.
Hold it!
Mr. LeBlanc, were you able to get a good look at the inside of the elevator at that time? Of course, I saw what was inside. And you were sure that the victim was in the elevator alone? Yes, the only person inside was that Mr. Hicks man. This last output is a bit too important to let go. False! How did these grape juice footprints get here?
Objection!
Mr. LeBlanc. What is it? There's a very glaring contradiction in your testimony. What do you mean? Please take a look at the area in front of the elevator. There at the spilled grape juice. Yes, and will you admit you also spilled it with the blood? No, it spilled itself during the turbulence. But the interesting thing here is the set of grape juice footprints. The footprints! Yes, the ones that lead from the elevator out into the lounge itself. It's evidence that proves that someone other than Mr. Hicks exited the elevator alive. Ugh. There must have been another person in the elevator with Mr. Hicks. Now then, I'm done playing games. Why don't you tell us the truth? Blah, 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 blah. Can you please translate for us? No way, that's totally impossible, I guess is what he said. No way, that is totally impossible. I know there was no other person in there. I saw with my own eyes. If you want to know what I think, Mr. Edgeworth, I don't think Mr. LeBlanc is lying to us. I suppose she's right, he doesn't seem to be lying. But then what does it mean? What about this contradiction? Mr. LeBlanc, please just once more will you recall the details of what you witnessed for me? Ah! I was very upset when Mr. Hicks passed by my seat. I was always checking the time, over and over again. I happened to follow that man with my eyes when he passed me. And I saw clearly into the elevator he was entering. But I swear, there was no one else inside. No one! Mr. LeBlanc, if you would please calm down. What? Dare you to have an issue with my eyewitness testimony? No, not at all. Please forget I said anything. And again, he doesn't appear to be lying. But I can't let this testimony stand as the truth.
Hold it!
Why were you so attentive to the time? Because something was unforgivable was happening. Come to think of it, you were yelling about something unforgivable earlier. I was giving a complaint to the attendant about the movie starting time. Return back to my time, in money. You understand the point. Movie, is he talking about the in-flight one that's mentioned in the magazine? A summary of the plot and its start time. Interesting. There is supposed to show License to Love, Laugh, Maim, and Murder. I cannot see that movie in my country. You can only see it on international flights. I looked forward greatly to that movie. I checked my pocket watch whenever possible so I would not miss it. I even set my pocket watch to the destination time when I came on board. So my watch is not wrong. It matched the schedule. But the movie was still late. Very, very late. Your pocket watch, I'd like to ask you a little more about it, if it's alright.
Objection!
Mr. LeBlanc, you said this just now in your testimony. Now, if your watch has been set to our destination's time zone, it would mean that your watch is displaying the time of our destination.
Yes, and the correct time is worth its 6 cents.
I would like you to take a look at this. If you believe this Sky magazine, clocks on this flight run in accordance with the time of our departure time zone. The movie schedule was also created with that in mind. Miss Tenero, for confirmation's sake, what time zone is this flight aligned to right now? Well, we made a short stop at a transfer point. That's right, it was in that small Asian country, the Republic of Zhengfa. But we didn't readjust our onboard clocks at that time. So right now we're still running on Borginian time.
What?
The time difference between Borginia and our destination is 9 hours. In that case, it's only natural that your watch would be out of sync with the schedule. Further, with your analog watch set to our destination's time, it would appear to be running 3 hours fast when compared to the flight's onboard clocks. It also changes everything about your testimony. And you can bet 1,000,000 cents on that.
In light of this information, it means you saw Mr. Hicks 3 hours prior at 3 a.m.
This should clear up all of the remaining accusations. So this basically widens the time frame for the time of death, right? Right? Yes, because Mr. Blink saw the victim enter the elevator at 3 a.m. It means that the time of death could be anywhere from 3 to 6:15 a.m. The question now is, where was Mr. Hicks during that span of time? And what was he doing? I've got something to say. And you are? Yeah, oh. I'm Camille. I'm a flight attendant. And what is it you wish to say? Well, I think your story is a little different from how I remember it. What do you mean, Cammy? I saw Mr. Hicks sitting in a seat at 5 a.m., you know. What? How could you be so sure of the time? Well, that's right. He pushed his call button while we were parked at the transfer point. Ah, the stop we made for refueling and cargo transfer in Shengfa, correct? Yes, it was from 4 a.m. to 5 a.m. according to our clocks. And during that time, did any of the passengers leave, or did any new ones board this flight? No. Not a single person got off or on in Shengfa. What about the flight crew? The few who were handling the cargo transfer might have temporarily gotten on or off. On or off? But eventually, everyone, including Cammy and myself, came back on the plane. So basically, I can assume that no one left or got on since our initial takeoff. Interesting, I should keep that in mind. Yeah, and I answered his call. I can tell you Mr. Acme Hicks was there in his seat when we took off again at 5 a.m. Alright then, that puts the time of the murder between 5 and 6:15 a.m. Okay, now what time did you come down to the... Okay, now what time did you come down to the lounge, Mr. Edgeworth? I remember coming down here almost as soon as we left the Republic of Shengfa.
Gah! You were here the whole time from 5, yes? Then you are the only one who could be the killer.
Mr. Edgeworth, were you really here in this lounge the entire time from 5 a.m. onwards? Unfortunately, yes. But then how do you explain the footprints?
It's not obvious. The man waited for Mr. Hicks here in this lounge, waited to kill him. And then he put the corpse into the elevator. That is when the turbulence happened. My eyewitness testimony may have been mistaken. My eyewitness testimony... but what time I saw Mr. Hicks enter the elevator on the second floor does not matter.
because the entire incident concluded here in this lounge. Everything happened in this lounge. Is that what you really believe, Mr. LeBlanc? What? Do you have any other idea? I simply feel that there is something out of place in the scenario presented. Is there something that could tie this crime to a location other than this lounge? Probably the grape juice footprints.
Take that!
These footprints, in which direction do you think these are headed? That would be the in-flight shop. Correct. They are headed in the direction of the shop. But look, they look disconnected. They end all of a sudden. You are right to point out that they do not form one continuous trail to the shop. However, there is another piece of evidence that connects the shop to the crime scene. Besides the footprints, what else points to the flight in shop?
Take that!
The murder weapon. This little piggy bank is sold at the in-flight shop. It is sold there and only there, and is not displayed here in this lounge. How then did it find its way here? Don't you find that a tiny bit suspicious? Such a trivial point. Only means you prepared it, taking it from the shop first before coming here. It doesn't prove you're innocent at all. Is there no way to win with this man? If I may. What is it? You see, well, it's just as Mr. Edgeworth says. Oh, and why do you know this so well? Well, it's just that piggy bank was there, in the shop. I saw it with my own eyes. And when was this? It was maybe around 5:40 a.m. Is that just before we hit that patch of turbulence? That's right. You were in the shop just before the turbulence? Yes, I was. Come to think of it, Miss Tennyrow, when I found the body, I believe you came out of that door. Yes, I did. And what is beyond that door? That's the flight's attendance room. Then you were on the first floor. Yes. I had to do something at the shop and in the flight attendance room. So I went to the shop first and then to the flight attendance room. Are you saying you passed by me at some point? Yes. You seemed really into the issue of Sky magazine you were reading at the time. I don't suppose you noticed me walking by. I vaguely recall someone walking by, but I didn't take notice of who it was. Anyway, the piggy bank was definitely there at the shop when I went there. Why did you go to the shop in the first place? I went there for a work-related matter. Work, you say? Yes, the upkeep of the shop is also one of my responsibilities. Why did you not say anything about that until now is what I want to know. In any case, I believe it's clear that the shop needs to be investigated as well. Shall we head over there then? What is it? What is it now? Aren't you forgetting something, Miss Rhoda? Don't you need the captain's permission to check the shop? No, I haven't forgotten, but I have already asked him for permission to search the entire plane. So I think we're alright. Huh? That's weird. What is it? What is? Well, I just talked to the captaincy, and he said that he didn't give you permission to do anything like that at all. What is the meaning of this, Miss Tennyrow? It means she's lying. Go on. Admit that you are. You said you have permission to search all over, but you don't. And yet, here you are. You, flight attendant! What are you trying to do? Pull a sheep over us? The captain's calling for you, Miss Rhoda. Oh, but don't worry. I already got permission to search the shop from the captain. See, unlike you, I do things the right way. Miss Tennyrow, why would you do such a thing? Please excuse me. Looks like I get to be in charge now. Oh, please go back to your seat, Mr. LeBlanc. Now then, Mr. Edgeworth, if you would follow me, I will be your guide from now on. There's something about Miss Tennywell that has piqued my curiosity. But right now, investigating the in-flight shop is my top priority.
Alrighty, well, that'll do it for this episode of Miles Edgeworth Investigations. Yes, so, Miss Tennywell lied. She wanted to search it. As to why she lied, I guess we'll figure that out eventually. But first, we need to investigate the in-flight shop. So, I think that is what we're going to do. But until then, thank you all for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe to Bonnie Time for more content, especially more Ace Attorney investigations. And also make sure to share this video far and wide so we can get as many eyes on the series as possible. And I will see you all next time.